to Ebsworth Street. So, as most of you have seen, I've done quite a fair bit of progress on to Gordon's Lane. So, what I've been doing this week is I've finished the panels, so they're ready to be installed, which I've got one here. So what I'm going to be doing, this is what an NX panel is. This is what Network Rail use in most of their Network Rail signalling centres, apart from their ROCs, which is their Rail Operating Centres, which is VDU, which is Visual Display Units. So on this, I've used these on a couple of my other layouts, Betwick, Peter Street, and obviously I was going to build one for Ebsworth Street, but I haven't had chance yet. So what I'm going to be doing with Gordon's Lane Fiddle Yard is actually I'm going to be using it on Ebsworth Street to make it a little bit easier to put up, take down, give him more flexibility. So that's going to be the future plan of it. So with these, there's a little circuitry on the back, so that does all the gizmos, and obviously you get route lights showing where the trains are going to go. So once the train is then completed, you then have to cancel it. On a Network Rail signalling system, that does it automatically for you. So still in the process of trying to get that to do that. So this panel here is going to go on the baseboard where you're sitting at the moment. So what happens is you want to take a train out of number 1, so out of number 1, and then it's going to go to number 7, and then the points will set, and then the route will set, and then it means that train can then come out. So what I've been doing is I've done a little bit of a test stage of it. I've got 3 of the scenic baseboards up at the moment, and I've got the cutout for the panel, which I'm making an angle part to it. So what I'll do now is I will show you what I'm hoping to achieve with the panel, and how it's going to look on the scenic section. So I put a little bit of buildings on so you can actually get an idea, because obviously I don't want to start laying track and then it doesn't fit because I haven't placed it correctly with the buildings. So I'm going to show you what the panel is going to look like on one of the fiddle yard boards. So this is the NX panel that I was showing you earlier. So this is what we're going to be fitting to here. Now, as you can see, we've had to do a bit of butchering to get it in place because I couldn't fit it flat. So fit it flat, it's going to sit out quite wide of the panel, and I want it to be all quite neat. So what we decided to do is we decided to leave it at an angle, and then we'll put it in. So it means then you're not leaning across the track to set points. Now, if I put it that side, potentially if a train's coming in, you're going to hit the train, so obviously it's going to disturb it, and then that means that side there I'd have to build a bigger sheet to protect it. So what we decided to do was we're going to fit that there, so it sits nice and neat, and then it also means then once we put the backing piece in there, it's going to look quite nice, quite tight, and it will then look quite professional. So that's what the fiddle yard main entrance board will be. Hence why I didn't fit any point motors, because I didn't know what it was going to be like. So as you can see there, I've fitted out, I've put up 3 of the scenic section boards, and earlier on in the video I told you that I've already rewired the fiddle yard, which I have done, which you can just see there. So what I'll do is later on in the video I'll get one of these boards out on a table, and then show you how I've wired them up, what the cables are like, and what terminals I've used. So the whole of the fiddle yard is now wired, and I've tested it as well, so you may have seen that on my other social media platforms, Ebsworth Street on Facebook, Instagram, and obviously Gordon's Lane on Facebook. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around to the front of the scenic section boards. I've got some goodies out on the table which I've collected over a number of years, and then you'll be able to see exactly and get an idea of what's actually going to be going onto the layout. So here you can see various different types of bits that I've collected over the years to what I'm going to actually be putting on the layout. So starting from this end, we have got the Bachmann Scencraft, which is Weybourne Road Bridge. So I'm going to be using these 2 holes as the main running lines, and then this one here I'm going to be using as a road, a little dirt track for the network rail guys to come down, and I may use this one as a little to get access to the Southern Region signal box. So this one is another Scenecraft building, which was, I think, Hampton Court, and obviously I quite like this one because you can take the lid off, so it means I'll be able to get inside, do some detail. I've got a hole in the bottom there, so I can actually put some lights in and etc. feed up. So then that should be pretty good. Also, what I've got is some of the Wheels modern panelised fencing, which I've got 3 packs of the standard fencing, and then I've got some gates for that. So obviously I'm going to try and then obviously box that around the signal box, and I've got some relay cabinets from the Wheels kits, which I should be able to fit. Now, these are pretty much very hard to come by. And this is one of the Rail Express yard tower lights, and obviously on this one what we've done is obviously I put a plug on the bottom, so it basically means I'll be able to remove it so it doesn't get damaged during transport, with the layout being together. Now obviously most of the Southern Region, they've all got concrete trunking, so as you can see I've got a fair few amount of packs to get through, obviously to build and put upside, so I'm going to put it on the left hand and right hand side. So I've also got one of the line side transformer sites. Obviously this is for your third rail. It's going to be a little bit of a basic scenario for this one, so that's going to be fitted on quite nicely. I've got some of the conductor rail, so I'm actually going to be fitting third rail to this one on the up and down main line. So this all comes from Pico. So you can get the idea. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to eventually take the rail out, tarnish it to make it look a little bit dirty and grubby, and then obviously fit the chairs to them when I need to. I've also got one of these Sentinels because I really thought these are really nice, and I thought, well, this will look quite nice obviously if I'm moving around some of the MPVs or whatever in the little bit of a yard that I'm going to be having here. So I thought, I quite like that one, and I quite like it in the Wabtec colours as well, which is in the dark black. So I've also saw these on Facebook and I really liked them, and they're the BT models, basically like forklift trucks. So I managed to get 2 packs of those, so that's going to be quite good. Now I've got some kits. So these are the Nightwing porta cabin kits. This was supposed to be the double porta cabin, but I decided to have these as 2 single ones, paint them up, make them a little bit different, and so obviously it means I can then put those anywhere. Now this is a fantastic kit. This is from Railway Laser Lines. This is their wagon repair depot, but I'm going to be using it as an MPV maintenance type depot and shed. And this is the wheels ratio, I think it's a ratio kit, which is the industrial kit. So it means then if I can put that on the side, it looks like it's part of the wagon to relieve. And then also I got this fantastic ratio kit, crane kit. So I'm going to have this at one end of the shed. So it looks like that's where they lift off on and off the containers on top of the MPVs. Lovely kit, very fiddly, unless you're really good at these sort of things. Yeah, they're pretty damn good. So as you can see, this is only just roughly around about 9 foot. Got another 9 foot to go. I've got loads of point work, and obviously today's job is to cut the hole out for the track to come through, and then I'll be laying the first part of the track across this baseboard. Most of you are going, well, I've seen you going to do it as an end-to-end and an oval. Yes, so basically the idea is to have 11 foot this end, 11 foot the other end. And then obviously then that gives you roughly around about a 40-foot layout end to end. Or if you want to, you can then have it as a oval for different exhibition managers. And then that means then I'll have curves, which are just solely just for running round on. And I'm going to build it as a test track almost. So it gives you a flexible feature. So it means if you do want to change the layout in between, you've still got the footyard at each end. So what I'm also going to be doing is using the footyard on Ebsworth Street. So eventually you'll see the fantastic long footyard that I've made here, which will be going on Ebsworth Street as well. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to box all this back up down in the box just below there. That's all my little goodies and treats. So I've got some MPVs in there, got some other buildings and that. But this is the main stuff that I've collected over the last couple of years. Popped them in a box, made them, and then get ready to build the layout. So fingers crossed, hopefully I should be able to get a fair bit done, and then obviously get some track laying done, and get the layout up and running end to end. Then I just need to hopefully when the lockdown eases, get back down the club one evening, set this lot up and run its first train. Here we have the footyard boards. I would have shown you how I wired these, but I kind of got carried away this week. I managed to get all the boards wired quite quickly within literally a day, and obviously done all the joints as well. So here we have is the tag strips, which you can get from Squires, which I told you about in video 2. Also here is I've used the black as the common and the white as the positive or negative, whichever way you want to call it. And then here is the 25-way D-plugs. So what I've done here is you've got a male and female each end, exactly the same. So all I've done, if you've noticed, these are wires down this end and a wires that end, and then you've got the two wires connecting the two panels together. So what I do on exhibition layouts, the main reason why I do this is because if there is a bit of a HR contact, high resistant contact in the fish plates, so if I go around here to the track work, so here we've got the joints for the fish plate. So if those become a bit dirty, grubby over a period of time and they don't allow the electricity to flow through, because I've wired it here and then down here, it means then I've got feeds from both direction. And if, for example, there was a break, someone catches the cable on the opposite side, between the left and the right tag strips, it basically means then the rail will actually be the conductor for the wire. So that is pretty much all I've done on that, and I've also done that onto the other footyard boards. So there they are, all down there, all wired up, ready to go. And then it's the same thing again with the point work board, which we have here, and that is exactly the same. That's all wired up here at the moment, because obviously I had to refit the track here, and I've got to retrofit the screws. So I'll probably show you in the next video, obviously, but what I'm going to do now. So here we have the footyard boards. I would have shown you how I wired these, but I kind of got carried away this week. I managed to get all the boards wired quite quickly within literally a day, and obviously done all the joints as well. So here we have is the tag strips, which you can get from Squires, which I told you about in video 2. Also here is I've used the black as the common and the white as the positive or negative, whichever way you want to call it. And then here is the 25-way D-plugs. So what I've done here is you've got a male and female each end, exactly the same. So all I've done, if you've noticed, these are wires down this end and a wires that end, and then you've got the two wires connecting the two panels together. So what I do on exhibition layouts, the main reason why I do this is because if there is a bit of a HR contact, high resistant contact in the fish plates, so if I go around here to the track work, so here we've got the joints for the fish plate. So if those become a bit dirty, grubby over a period of time and they don't allow the electricity to flow through, because I've wired it here and then down here, it means then I've got feeds from both direction. And if, for example, there was a break, someone catches the cable on the opposite side between the left and the right tag strips, it basically means then the rail will actually be the conductor for the wire. So that is pretty much all I've done on that, and I've also done that onto the other Footyard boards. So there they are, all down there, all wired up, ready to go. And then it's the same thing again with the point work board, which we have here, and that is exactly the same. That's all wired up here at the moment, because obviously I had to refit the track here, and so here's the front. What I've done some track laying and I've placed some buildings in place. So I'm just starting to do the crossover to go into the we're going to be a little MPV depot at the front. And also, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from here, is obviously I've put a little bit of a canting on the track towards the right. So the 170 is leaning towards the signal box. So this is one of the railway laser line wagon repair depots. So fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to do a bit of detail in them, and obviously hence why I've left the roof of them clear, so people will be able to see inside of them. And then also, as you can just about see just there, I've just laid out a little bit part of it with some caulk to give it that bit of a faster running line as it's coming in. So all I've got to do is do the joints here, and obviously I've got to do the joints underneath the bridge. Obviously this one here, I've had to be a bit clever. I'm going to have to retrofit the screws in. So what I'll do is I'll put the screws in place, and then obviously then solder the screw to the rail, and obviously then adjust it into whichever one or whichever needs to be adjusted, so I get the perfect alignment. I've not quite decided yet if I want to have the bridge right up close, or I might have it a little way back and then make a cover, like a green hill over the top for that. I haven't really decided yet, and I need to have a good old little think. I've ordered another one of these because I quite like the structure of it. So I decided to order myself another one of these, and that's going to go down the opposite end. But what I may do is I may actually just cut it so it's just the fascia of the hill or the road as that one, and then I may make like a bridge embankment for that. So I've got something exciting for the other end, which I'm not going to say just yet. I want to get it in place and get it working. So fingers crossed, hopefully I should have this board here will definitely be wired today, and you could probably see a couple of marks. So that's where a limit of shunt signal is going to go. And then just over here, if I move this is where a 4-aspect signal plus a call on for this line to go in, and then obviously another shunt signal here. So is if a train comes up to this way, it will then be able to reverse back. once it gets the signal. So there are going to be signals on this layout. They are from Absolute Aspects. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get them. I'm going to take them out and I'm going to show you them on the workstation, because these are fantastic bits of handcraft kit, and then you'll be able to get an idea. I'm trying to keep it quite simple, this layout, but there we go. So come and join me over on the workbench. And I put an order with Matt at Absolute Aspects. I worked with Matt when I worked at GB, and obviously I've known him through many years when he used to work as a driver for South West Trains, and obviously gone through when he was DRS and when I was a signalman and etc. So I know him quite well. So I said to him, "This is what I want. Is how long is it going to take roughly?" And he went, "Oh, about 3 to 6 months." So I knew that wasn't going to be an issue, because I didn't even have half the baseboards then back in January. So I put the order through. And a couple of weeks ago, you may have seen on my Instagram and Facebook page, I got this lovely little box of goodies. Wow. It is, considering these are all hand built, all hand painted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through with you what I've ordered. It's only 2 signals and 2 shunts and 1 limiter shunt. But then you can get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. I don't want to be too ambitious with the signalling like I have done with Ebsworth Street. This is to mainly show the detail that you can go into, and also this layout is to show the running of it, so you can show different types of stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the signals out, I'm going to pop them on the desk, and then I'll explain what and where they're going to go, so you can get that idea. So here they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what these are. So these are a 4-aspect LED colour light signalling. So this one here is going to be on the up or down main. I haven't really decided which way London is going to be yet. Wow, all I can say is, considering these are handcrafted, handmade, these are absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to be doing is, this is going to be on one line, and you'll just see at the end of the clip of the video, the last one, is you would have seen the junction route indicator and the cool-on. So this will be coming across the crossover, and then I'm going to be using the cool-on plus the junction route indicator to get yourself into the yard. These they're just absolutely amazing. Now what Matt's actually done is, obviously this one, I can't build 4-aspect LED ones, because obviously it's just trying to get the right colours. But this is just absolutely fantastic bit of kit. So these are the 2 signals that you're going to see. So one will be facing that way, one will be facing that way on the opposite line. So you should be able to see them. And the other added little bit of detail I quite like is obviously the way that he's done the step down on the ladder. That is just an amazing bit of kit, and the hoop round, and it's just, and the little bits of touch. Obviously you got the SBT. The only wish I did do is obviously get nameplates put on, but I'll have to get some transfers and put those 2 on. So they're the 2 signals. So I'm going to have 2 shunts. So there's 1 shunt, which we're going back in on the opposite line, going back into the sidings. And obviously then this one here will be to go from the sidings out onto the main line, and then running in and out via the sidings. That will be controlled by the depot. So obviously that will be quite good. And this is the limiter shunt signal. So I was tempted to get another shunt signal and do it so you have to shunt in and out, but I'm gonna have enough line in there for 2 MPVs to sit down, or a tram or something. But yeah, that is an amazing bit of kit. I can't thank Matt enough to, because I gave him this one here. I didn't really know where I wanted to put the shunt, which side I wanted to put it, but it had to go somewhere on the signal. Not quite sure how they're going to do the maintenance for it, because obviously it's on one side, but I think the S&T guys will work that out if there's something does go wrong. So these come with a little base, and obviously he's got little descriptions to tell you where you need to wire up, how you need to wire up. Fantastic instructions. I really am looking forward to getting these on the layout, and actually getting them working. Obviously these will be the final almost touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to box them back up, and I'm going to wrap up the video for today. I hope you enjoyed part 3. I know you've not really seen that much of me doing bits and pieces. I hope you like the idea of what I've collected and what you'll be able to see on the layout. So fingers crossed I'll be able to get more of the main part of the layout track laid, wired up, and then hopefully by the end of next month, the end of May, I should be able to take it down my local model railway club for one evening, set it up, and give it a good old run to test it and see what it's like. So on that note, I would like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.